All right, I want to talk about the San Antonio Brown trade that happened today. It is a changing trade for the Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to shake a lot of stuff up in the NFL. The Oakland Raiders traded a third and a fifth round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Antonio Brown. A lot of analysts, a lot of people speculated that Antonio could be worth a second rounder, and especially with the Raiders, a lot of people thought that it could be worth up to a first round pick. And with them having 24, 27, wouldn't have really been that much to give up for a receiver like Antonio Brown, because when you think about it, I forget what the Cowboys were. I think they were 24. That was for Amari Cooper. If you trade 24 for Antonio Brown, you basically trade Antonio Brown for Amari Cooper. That's not a bad trade when you really look at it. Okay, but then they traded a 3 and a 5. It's two players, but it's two players that you don't necessarily think are going to come in and make a difference. I know the Colts got Darius Leonard in the second round this year, but that was still 34. That was still a fairly high pick. And being a Colts fan, I like that pick. But then when I stop and think about what people are saying about him having an attitude issue, okay, he's got an attitude issue, but isn't that what the Raiders are known for, is having kind of the attitude issue players? Marshawn Lynch, for an example, in his tirades with the media. But when you look at it, he's got a 3-year contract for 50-5. The possibility of going up to 54-5, I believe, with incentives and bonuses, and I'm sure that they're built in player friendly to keep him around. So you figure about $18 million a year. For a player with attitude issues, people say, okay, yes, the player might have attitude issues, but it's still Antonio Brown. It's not like he hadn't had attitude issues before. He still goes out there and performs. People attribute that to Ben Roethlisberger. As good of a quarterback that Ben is, he hasn't won other than with a stacked defense. He's had all the offensive firepower that you could ask for. Arguably the best running back at the time, arguably the best receiver at the time, arguably the best line at the time. And let's be real, Shazier was good on defense. TJ Watt wasn't bad on defense last year, but they couldn't manage to finish it. So here's the phase. We get Antonio Brown, and let's say they would go out and they make a splash in free agency. Let's say they go out and they get Le'Veon, just as an example. So you trade Ben for Derek Carr. That's not a great trade-off, don't get me wrong. But Antonio and Bell did not have great chemistry with Ben. Mainly Brown. So let's say him and Carr get along pretty well. That helps a lot more than people really think of. Then you're going to have people saying, but Juju helps him sometimes to double coverage away from Antonio. I understand that, but let's think about this. You bring in Le'Veon, and let's say you have the money to go out and get someone like Jared Cook. Vance McDonald and Jesse James on the Steelers are solid tight ends, but Jared Cook was a beast this year. So you take him and Antonio and Le'Veon, you have all of a sudden you've got a 3-headed monster. With 3 picks still, some cap space, etc. You are set up. Now, I'm not sitting here saying the Raiders are going to go out there and win 12 games next year. But I'm saying, let's say they take Josh Allen at 4. Let's say it goes Kyler, Nick Bosa, Quinton Williams, and Josh Allen falls there at 4. And let's say that they improve their offensive line. Let's say Cody Ford at 24 and go out and get Nazir Adderley or someone at 27 to improve their secondary a little bit. And then let's say somewhere in free agency they make another small signing, maybe not small, but a little bit bigger. Someone like Ezekiel Elliott who could use a restart, or Dante Fowler who played all right in Los Angeles Rams this season. That would change a lot, and I think that wouldn't be a bad thing. You would have a new pass rusher, new someone in the secondary, and a new linebacker that you just paid heavily for. And you still have 2 second-round picks to possibly improve your line some more. I mean, you got Rodney Hudson and that up front, but say Hudson and, like I said, Cody Ford, let's say that's the left side of the line. Maybe go out and get in free agency Matt Paradis, good center. Probably could get him for a good value. So now you're going to let Le'Veon run behind a fairly decent line. That'll give Derek Carr the time to throw the ball to Antonio, who will probably have a better chemistry than Antonio and Ben did. All of a sudden, that's not looking too bad. Antonio had 600 reception seasons in a row. That's an insane number, and I don't know if he'll get to that number next year. I don't think he will. But I'm here to say even 85 is not a bad number. We get him 85 and Jared Cook 65, and those two guys have 150 receptions, and say Le'Veon gets another 50. If those three people have 200 receptions, it's not bad. It's not going to be like the Steelers where they throw 600 times in a season or something like that. Those aren't bad numbers right there. And you'd be able to run the ball better than you were this year with Lynch for half a season, and then whatever else they had back there. What I'm basically trying to say is the Antonio Brown trade, a lot of people that care about image aren't going to like because he destroyed his image this offseason. But from a pure football aspect, that's not a bad trade. I mean, it could work out for numerous people. It could work out for the Steelers. Maybe they do find the next player, next steal out of the draft. I mean, it's very rare that a fifth-round pick pans out to be that good, or even a third-round pick. I mean, frankly, now it's hard to find a second-rounder that's that good. Colts got lucky last year with Darius Leonard and, frankly, Braden Smith, and I'm sure there was some other ones. I mean, James Conner, I think, was drafted 4th or 5th round for the Steelers, and he's been a pretty good running back. But is that all you could get for probably the top receiver in our game right now? Everyone's thinking, oh, Juju's just going to take right over. Juju never really faced double coverage that much, and when he did, watch the tape. He didn't dominate like many people thought he was going to. I'm pretty much just saying, give it a chance, Raider fans that are pretty happy about this. And don't judge how it goes off of one season, because you might not have the protection. You might not have the running game. But there's a lot of possibilities that could go well for them with this. You got rid of Amari Cooper for a first-round pick. You got Antonio Brown, who in my opinion is right up there with Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins. They play a different style of receiver, but they're both, well, all three are really good receivers for a third and a fifth. That's all I got to say. Thank you.